Hello Jamie Hague, it's your good old friend, Rise. Today I'm doing this video for you and you only, to ask you a certain question. Question 1 is, how can Kaylee send a Christmas card and also presents to her daughters? Because seemingly you've told Kaylee and the public that your mother is moved. And as you know, it's one of your daughter's birthday soon. Can you just please reply to this video? Number 1. And number 2, what I want to clarify with you is the allegation that you just made 2 minutes ago in your stream, as we are watching as one of your viewers, once again classing Kaylee of what you've been calling her. And I think it's really unfair, Jamie Hague. I'm going to call you Jamie Hague because I'm not going to call you Mongo anymore. Because apparently you're a man, right? And we need to treat you like a man. Because obviously calling you Mongo is kind of like disrespecting you, yeah? I'm not putting you on a pedestal because you don't need it. But I'll treat you like a man for once in your life. Because seemingly talking to you like this may, sink through to your head what I'm about to say. As I was saying, you've just said in your stream you want to let Kaylee up because she wanted to ask you questions about her daughters that she wants to send stuff to for Christmas and also birthday. Now, you're talking about apparently she, abused her children. But wait a minute, Mongo. In a video that I've posted on my channel of you doing the same thing that you accused Kaylee of, and I will link it to this actual video after you hear this speech, right? You was given one task, as I keep repeating myself over and over, right, of looking after Lola when Kaylee was in hospital with Prim. Okay? That's all you had to do was look after her. There was no need for you to go online in the public eye to broadcast you looking after your daughter. Kaylee was in hospital, people, okay? Looking after Prim, because Prim was seriously ill. Right? I don't get, Jamie, why you're saying all this about Kaylee, that seemingly she's done all this stuff. I just can't get my head around it. You're saying that I wasn't around, but I was. I was seeing it from both sides, Kaylee's side and your side. But mostly from your side, because you was constantly broadcasting. Not sinking, but Jamie, sorry, I was going to call you Mongo, but, Jamie, does that sink in? You was broadcasting all the time. So I didn't know who Kaylee was. Yeah? I thought for 1 minute you was basically bringing up your 2 kids on your own. And then Kaylee came into the picture because you forced her on this internet, because obviously they went through her Facebook, finding out who she was, and also putting up photos of the family on social media. And you've already admitted this in your own words, to be fair. And you can't backtrack, because I'm sure there is somebody out there that actually got that audio of you admitting that, because it was you and PJ and Timmy that, brought you to this community. Now, I don't get it, Jamie. You had everything that any other man could have wanted in life. You had a roof over your head. You had a beautiful woman. You had 2 beautiful daughters, and still there was something missing from your life. And to be honest with you, by viewing the videos that I viewed of you previously, when you went in your back garden, you also had a firearm, didn't you? And I can put that up if you don't believe me. Because you said, I quote, I don't know if it was through Kaylee that you said it, it could be loaded, do not go firing it. So let me analyse that. If you had that gun in your house, yeah, and you had 2 girls that could be running around freely, and that gun could have got in your hands of your kids, and you was unaware, if Kaylee had that gun and you said to her, I don't know if it's loaded. What happened if Lola picked it up or Prim picked it up thinking it was a toy and one of them had an accident? How can you explain that to the police or explain that to social services? Because to be fair with you, when you analyse the videos that you've put up on the internet in the past, it is kind of like graphic what I've watched. It's not so much of Kaylee is the problem in the relationship that I've witnessed. It was you. You was told multiple times by Kaylee and also multiple times by other people in the community to get off the internet and enjoy your family. But you were so hooked on this internet, you didn't care about your 2 daughters or Kaylee. And it's kind of tragic when you think about it, innit, Jamie? When you think about what you've done. The problem is you might not read, right, or understand any words on the actual page, black or white, but I'm sure you know the difference between right and wrong. And what you're doing on your channel, accusing Kaylee of all this stuff that you were accusing her of, is kind of wrong, innit? So if I said to you now, go and put your hands in the fire, that's wrong in me in saying that, innit? But if you go and do it, that's your fault because it's called stupidity. You're going to burn yourself. And I think you've burnt yourself many a times on this internet and burnt a lot of bridges. But now you think because Kaylee's out of your life and you're having this little fantasy fairy tale with Natalie, you think that you've got the right to accuse Kaylee of all this stuff. And remember, Jamie, I've read all the actual information that you were accusing your ex-missus of. And I wish, and I will say this, I wish I could put it online for the public to see it. But it's the problem, Jamie. I can't. Do you know why? I'll be breaking the law. Because there's certain names in our actual documents, including your mother's past, that you ain't mentioned recently, what I've basically told in the past videos, of your mum being jailed, your mum having a boyfriend that basically sexually abused a child and went to prison for it, and also your brother's having a criminal record, and also yourself. But I see that you just pick on your ex-missus for some odd reason. And I don't get that. Why don't we talk about your mum and what she went through? Because it seems like you bring in Kaylee's dad into it, Kaylee's mum into it, as you have. And now you're bringing me into your problems, even though I don't really give a shit. I'm only having an opinion because I've read what I've read. You both had a relationship and you broadcasted it online, yeah? You got to understand that, Jamie. Okay? You did. You broadcasted it in front of loads of people on a public platform that could be viewed anywhere around the world. So, you know, there's some good people out there that has been watching from the beginning, Jamie, yeah? And there's some people are not aware of the situation that you two was in. They're only seeing clips of videos here and there. But I will say to you, you had every opportunity to change your life around. Well, what gives you the right to put Kaylee in a category of being an abuser when you two was in a relationship for 10 years. Now, if I had kids with Kaylee, right, Jamie, and I see that Kaylee was the problem and she was abusing my children, in that sense, I would do a fatherly thing and I would take them kids away from Kaylee to a safe place, or safe haven, as they say, right? But you continually had the relationship with Kaylee, and I don't understand why now, because you are out of the relationship with Kaylee, you're coming out of all this stuff, because it really doesn't add up with me. And I think even the trolls that troll me every day and the people that are against me will say that I'm correct what I'm saying, to be fair. If you was in a bad relationship with Kaylee and she was abusing her kids, the big question to you is, and please answer it, this is 2 questions now I want you to answer, yeah? Why did you continually allow Kaylee around your children? So, it was one day that Kaylee had to knock off the social services. She's told me the story, and I've read it, that they said that they were going to take the kids away. She didn't know what was going on, obviously, but she did after the fact. Yeah? When it got taken off her, she tried taking her life, didn't she, Malty? Because why I know this is true is because you've already admitted this online in front of the community, and also Kaylee have said it in the past, because I've got a good memory, see? Right? You phoned the police on her to let her have help, and also the ambulance, wasn't there? It's because she was in a bad place, because she just had her kids taken off her on that day. She didn't want to live no more. She said, if I haven't got my kids, I won't basically live this life no more. But when they went to court beforehand, yeah, you tried to set up Kaylee, didn't you, with your mother, Malty? Come on, be truthful. You're supposed to be a man, right? You're supposed to admit your sins, right? Because it's all written on paper, Jamie. But it seems like the more lies you speak, the more I'm going to react to you, because I know the truth. When Kaylee got questioned about the things that went on in our relationship, she was truthful. She went through the test of being a mother, because you have to go through a course. You remember that course that you tried, but you failed? Kaylee, people, actually passed it with flying colours. I'll repeat that, Mongo. Oh, sorry, Jamie. Your ex-missus passed it, right? And then the community was accusing Kaylee of being taking drugs. Okay? Kaylee also had a drug test by professionals. And then there was people saying that the test was fake, even though it got taken to a lab. And then it was proven that she was never taking drugs. But I'm sure when you did the test, you failed, didn't you, Jamie? You did. So now let's look at this from a different angle. Kaylee passed the test of being a mum. You failed of being a dad. Kaylee passed the drug test, but you failed the drug test. Wow. But Kaylee's an abuser, right? Let's get to that. Now, you and your mother was trying to go against Kaylee to say that she bit, punched, and threw her children. Remember when one of your children had bruises on her body, and they went to professionals, doctors, and said these bruises wasn't done by any human being? And do you know why Kaylee, people, was basically questioned of them bruises? It wasn't because she was a bad mother for the people out there or the trolls. Listen up carefully. Why Kaylee was questioned is because Kaylee was the one that was looking after the children. And they realised that one of her daughters had a condition. And what was the condition called, Kaylee?
Gluea.
What?
Gluea.
Called gluea.
It affects your balance. So she was always clumsy. She would trip over her own feet and everything.
There we go. So when she had that condition, gluea, if I pronounce that right, she would fall over and she would automatically have bruises, Jamie. See, what I don't like about your allegations is there's a missing line in all this conversation that I'm trying to say to you. You was never on the scene. Only when you was asked to look after one of your daughters, when Kaylee had to go to hospital to make sure that one of your daughters and one of her daughters, Prim, was healthy and not dying in hospital. And then you criticise Kaylee for sending me photos of one of your daughters. And I will put everything in this video. She had every right in her power to do that. Even the police said that. There's nothing wrong with what she did. She was expressing herself as a mother because she was upset and she went through a traumatic time. Yeah? She was there for the birth. She brought the child into this world. If it wasn't for her, you wouldn't have them girls in your life. All you did was just be basically the sperm donor. Correct in what I'm saying. But when he went to court, as I keep saying, and you accuse Kaylee of all this, being a bad mother, hitting, throwing, and so on, I hope you're listening to this incel community, because I'm going to give you a little insight on this conversation. Listen carefully. From the beginning, if you want to listen to it again, and make sense of it. Why was it, Jamie, when you went in front of the judge, because I've read this incel community, why was it the judge said to you, swear in the Holy Bible, that you are telling the truth, and you said to the judge and looked up to the judge and said, no, Kaylee did not abuse or hit or put a hand on the children. So let me tell you something now. We all know Kaylee's background and also your own background. You're calling Kaylee that, what you've been calling her for a while. Now, Kaylee, the only thing has got on her record is basically pushing a police officer. The only thing on her record is pushing a police officer, Jamie.
And he knows why.
And you know why. I'm not going to get into that, or do you really want me to get into that or cover that right now for you? Because I can if I want to, because I know every bit of it. There was nothing in her record, what I've seen, of her being an abuser or getting charged with it or even being any kind of abuser to anyone, only to a police officer, and you know why that is, isn't it? But we won't get into that, as I said. So, the motto of the story, you also said to the community that in the video you see Kaylee shouting at the child, it was because she was abusing her. But wouldn't it, because I think it's Lola, I think it is, had a skin condition? But wait a minute, Jamie. Before you say, no, she didn't have a skin condition, she still got it, but I'll also link that into this video that I'm about to give you too. Because you can't tell porcupines on this internet, because unfortunately, right, when you die, you won't go to them pearly gates. God won't let you in. You'll be going to the hells of fire and burn in hell. Yeah? Every sin you commit, you will get punished. Remember that. So, incel community, do you know the difference between right and wrong? Do you know the difference between edited and not edited? Because you do, don't you? Because you've done it to Kaylee yourself. You've actually edited videos. You've actually put her flat, not the flat she was in, the flat where she was with Jamie online. Let me educate you, incel community. When she first moved into that flat, you are correct. There was no carpets on the floor, on the stairway, and there was no carpets in the bedroom. But it was carpets in the living room, incel community. And the bags that you see around was full of clothes for the kids off the next door neighbours. It wasn't black bags, dirty black bags, remember? And the cigarettes that you see, the joints on the settee, wasn't belonging to Kaylee because she doesn't smoke that indoors. And to be honest with you, she ain't going to deny it. She has smoked weed in the past. But
That was a long
long time ago, as you just said. But them joints was Maltese, or Jamie's, not hers. So when you go in and saying it was all Kaylee's, it wasn't. And to be fair with you, incel community, we've all seen Malty online in front of his children smoking weed, indoors. I just don't get it. Why you're targeting Kaylee? You said you're going to take out two birds with one stone. And I don't get that, incel community. If you're not from this community, I don't think you should even sit there criticising something that you don't know. You certainly don't know nothing about me, and you don't know certainly nothing about Kaylee. You've been given certain videos by people that's edited videos in the past. But you're so stupid you believe anything. You think, black is white, to be fair. I've been on this community for years. Kaylee has. We are not bad people. We never said all them things. It's edited. Yeah? But if you want to sit there and believe it, even though Kaylee hasn't got a criminal record for being a boozer and I'm not a paedophile or being ever convicted of that or even been to court over that, it's tied up to you. I hope you have a great life, yeah? Because I'm not going to entertain you no more. Or Kaylee isn't. We're going to leave you in the background, yeah, while we get on with our lives. I'm only doing this video today, not for you, incel community, because you're trivial. You're a no one. You're just a sad act. You're just jumping on the bandwagon like everybody else does. You ain't going to prove anything at the moment. You know what I mean? No, you never will. You're just sad, mate. So, yeah, going back to Jamie. So you've accused Kaylee of all this. She hasn't got a criminal record for being a boozer. She was a better mother than you think. She never took drugs because she passed that, right? But you are now saying that all this is coming out online again today, that she's been an abuser. So instead of you saying to Kaylee, right, stick all the documents on the internet. Why didn't you stick all the documents on the internet? Because I'm sure you can request them, right? What are you always asking Kaylee for? Kaylee is not the one accusing you of being a bad father. You're accusing her of being a bad mother. And, your mother's no spring chicken. She's got, more criminal records than I have. I've only got her abuse and domestics on mine, but your mother's got worse. So, Jamie, people in glass houses shouldn't throw stones, yeah? Remember that. Because you are putting Kaylee through hell through the shit that you're doing. You've nearly got your own ex-partner killed for your online behaviour. You do realise that, right? I hope you are aware of that. The mother to your children. Whatever way you look at it and whatever incel community says or anyone on this line, them kids by blood is Kaylee's daughters incel community. So get that through to your head. There's nothing in this world can stop her seeing them kids. It's just Jamie is just putting shit into his mother's head because he's just demented. If Kaylee wanted to, she could get them kids back in the cell community. And to be honest with you, you probably know that anyway. You're just trolling us. But, you know, I'm not really arguing with you because, you know, who are you again? So, Jamie, show us the proof. Hard evidence of you accusing your ex-missus of being all this. No videos. Just writing on a piece of paper. Yeah? Done by the court of law. Because I know you can't. And it's kind of sad when you think about it, innit, Jamie? What you're doing. You know you ain't got no cards to play anymore. Because the cards that you once had are basically old. Because the shit that you put on the internet is old news. And I think people out there that's good people in the background know the actual real truth. That your story doesn't add up. And it never will. And I hope one day you will understand when you're about 50, 60 years old, Jamie, and you look back on what you've done and said, you have a little bit of conscience, and when you're on your deathbed and you're realising you're taking your last breath, you're going to understand something. All what you've done, and there's going to be for no reason. You're going to say to yourself, what was my life about? I've literally put all my life online in front of the community, and I haven't even, you know, built myself a future from, you know, my 2 daughters. I've just wasted it on a free app. You know, let me ask you a question, Jamie. What have you ever done for your actual 2 daughters instead of giving, you know, 50 to 100 quid a year for the actual Christmas, and also basically 50 quid each for their birthdays? Have you opened them a savings account? Have you looking out for their future for when they get older and they have to go to college? You know, because they don't stay young forever, pretty much so. And it's unbelievable how many times you've dragged your daughters on this internet. It's horrific. When your daughters get to a certain age, 16, 17, 18, and they view the videos of you talking about them constantly, they are going to be making up their mind who's the good person and who's the bad person, the mother or the father. Because to be fair with you, what you're doing is so wrong. And it's your daughters that's going to pick which family, a mother or father, they want to be with.
It's amazing how him and his mum say that kids don't love me. They do.
Well, obviously your daughters love you, but, you know, Jamie thinks that they're going to stay, you know, young forever.
No, but they do use the kids as a weapon.
Yes. And, you know...
Lola's coming to that age now where she's going to think for herself. She's not stupid already.
So going back to the conversation, what have you put away for your 2 beautiful, you know, daughters for the future? I'll tell you, probably fuck all, because you've probably sniffed it up your nose like an Hoover. We should call you fucking Henry the Hoover, to be fair. You know, there's more white powder going through you in a fucking wash machine. You've just got to realise something, Jamie. Every cloud has got a silver lining. And then all your sins that you committed is a little thing called karma. And karma will come and bite you on your ass. You think that you can get away with the things that you're getting away with forever. And it's kind of sad when you've got a mindset like that. You know? So the 2 questions is in this video, if you remember what I asked you. And have a great day, and peace out. But I will say something, Jamie. I will put them clips in this video for the public to view. Because to be fair with you, it's kind of boring listening to you accusing her of things that she's never done. Remember, you know, you've never achieved nothing in life. Peace out.